This is News First Weekend with Arundhati Mudannaika.
A very good evening and welcome to tonight's edition of Weekend Primetime News. And as always, let's start off with a look at the stories making headlines tonight. "20 arrested on suspicion on the volatile situation in Portugal." Haroja Suresh says that the time has come to end the greedy power struggles. And Minister Chandrasena says wild elephants will not be given away. 20 individuals have been arrested on suspicion over the situation of unrest that arose in the Portugal area recently.
A volatile situation arose in Portugal following a demonstration that was held requesting the release of 4 suspects. Police said that these suspects were produced before the Portugal Magistrates Court yesterday and were released on 100,000 rupees surety bail. Several of these suspects were those who were ordered to report to police on Sundays in connection to various other offences. Police added that currently a peaceful atmosphere prevails in Portugal while the army has been deployed for the security in the area. 7 individuals who were injured in the volatile situation that arose in Portugal recently had arrived in the Amparo hospital today for treatment. According to our correspondent, one of these individuals had sustained serious injuries to his leg. 2 wildlife officials who were attacked after returning from taking part on the elephant census on the 11th received treatment from the Amparo hospital today. They were attacked after suspecting to be grease devils. The 2 officials said that when they were returning from hospital, they encountered an individual who was among those who attacked them. The officials added that this individual, who avoided meeting with them, had then hid inside the Amparo depot and the police was unable to locate him. A 3-wheeler believed to be that of the suspect was seen parked opposite the depot office. Meanwhile, a program to educate the residents of Amparo and Bariclo on unidentified individuals was held under the auspices of Eastern Province Security Forces Commanding Officer Boniface Pereira today. Meanwhile, residents of Sandaveli area in Bariclo engaged in a protest today demanding security under the prevailing situation. The demonstrators dispersed following the discussions with the security forces personnel who arrived at the location.
The funerals of the 2 individuals who were suspected to be grease jackals and were therefore assaulted recently in the Kotalagala estate in Haputale were held today. The funerals were held at the Kumbalwela Public Cemetery in Bandaravela. M. Mahendran and Devan Peter died after they were assaulted on the 11th of this month. The 2 were engaging in trading activities in the Kotalagala area in Haputale at the time of the incident. The police stated that Mahendran and Peter were assaulted by a group of estate workers. Although the 2 individuals were residents of Monaragala, they had moved to Kumbalwela in Bandaravela after marriage. Area residents carried out a demonstration in the Kumbalwela town when the bodies were taken to their cemetery. Subsequently, the funeral rites for the 2 victims were held at the Kumbalwela Public Cemetery. A release issued by the Government Information Department states that so far the police have not arrested a single individual who was covered in grease. The release notes that there is no truth behind the rumours that are spread in certain areas regarding various suspicious and unidentified persons referred to colloquially as grease jackals. Issuing a release, the Government Information Department stated that such rumours are being spread to instill unnecessary fear in society in order to hinder the progressive changes taking place in the country. The Government Information Department stated further that owing to false rumours circulating regarding grease cars, the consequences of the general public taking the law into their own hands by assaulting suspicious individuals are evident. These views were expressed at a media briefing convened by the JVP today.
When politically decisive issues crop up, the government creates rumours that divert the people's problems into another direction. If they don't have anything to work on, there is a group of ministers in the government who would go and tie individuals to trees or cut down a metal fence of government property so that it would be the main news of the day. Now, there is another news item. The entire country is curious over the grease yaka. They brag that we have an army that can win any war in the world, but there is no one to catch these men who scare people after applying grease on them.
Minister of Economic Development Basil Rajapaksa says that Western countries that conspired against Sri Lanka are now experiencing the results of their conspiracies. The minister made this observation while attending a function in the Daranagal area yesterday.
The inauguration of the carpeting of roads in the Daranagal area took place under the auspices of Minister of Economic Development Basil Rajapaksa yesterday. When we were engaged in building the country with the people, another group did something else. It is the tigers who escaped from here and the tigers who were abroad. They started conspiring against our country together with certain Western NGOs and with those individuals who are greedy for dollars. Various grease yakas came in different forms to disrupt the peace in our country. What goes around comes around, and these countries are now receiving the after effects of the things that they did to us.
Co-deputy leader of the United National Party, Kharu Jayasuriya, says that the time has come to put an end to greedy power struggles. Kharu Jayasuriya made this statement during a function in LPTI yesterday.
This function was organised to declare open the newly constructed Bodhi Prakarya of the Sri Punya Ram Viharaya in Niyagama, LPTL. This is a very fortunate land that can be made into a prosperous country. For that, there needs to be peace and unity among us. We need to put an end to fights and struggles based on many reasons, including greed for power. If we do that, then we have a great future ahead of us. UNP media spokesperson parliamentarian Gayantha Karunatilaka expressed these views about Kharu Jayasuriya at the occasion. You are a very humble leader. You have the habit of listening. At the same time, you are not a person who runs behind titles. We observe the manner in which titles come to you because you are a Sinhala Buddhist leader who respects discipline and religion.
United National Party says that they have commenced the compiling of nomination lists for the upcoming elections for 23 local government bodies, including the Colombo Municipal Council. Party's General Secretary Tisatha Naika said that the party's nomination board will convene at Sirikatha from tomorrow up until the 20th for this purpose. He added that the UNP is hoping to contest the election after naming their candidates for the position of mayor for several local government bodies, including the Colombo Municipal Council.
The discussion will be held among relevant organisers and heads in order to arrive at the final decision. The National Nomination Board is scheduled to forward their recommendations between the 22nd and 23rd. Accordingly, the selected nominations will be handed over on the 24th and 25th. So far, we have not named anyone as heads for local government bodies. However, we are hoping to name our candidates for the position of mayor for several local government bodies, including the Colombo Municipal Council, when handing over nominations.
Meanwhile, the Election Secretariat states that the accepting of postal voting applications for the upcoming local government elections will conclude on the 25th of this month. Additional Elections Commissioner W.P. Sumanasiri stated that the electoral lists have been put on display at 10 centres in Colombo. Meanwhile, electoral lists have also been displayed at respective district secretariats for which the elections will be held. Elections would be held to elect representatives for 23 local government bodies. The additional elections commissioner added that elections will not be held for Pudukudu Iripu and Mudubadapattu Pradesh Sabas in the Mullaitivu district as landmine clearing operations are still underway in these areas.
Also in local news, Prime Minister D.M. Jayaratne says objections are not a hindrance to pass acts in Parliament. He made this comment while addressing a function in Kaluthera yesterday.
When we table acts in Parliament, they do not receive any vote in favour. However, many oppose them. We don't take notice of them. You can witness the manner in which individuals oppose these acts in Parliament via your televisions. If we bring forth an act, we will pass it. We don't mind if there is opposition to it. If the act in question is beneficial to society, we will go ahead with it. It may get delayed due to various minor issues. However, we will not let go of it. We will bring them back to Parliament.
The event was held to present Venerable Hal Bature Vandaratnathera with the Chief Sanganayaga title of the Amarapura Mulavanshika Mahasect. The Premier also laid the foundation stone for a two-story building at the occasion. The Department of Wildlife states that the final report on the elephant census which was conducted in the country will be issued within the next 2 weeks. The elephant census, which was conducted island-wide for a period of 3 days, concluded yesterday. The elephant census commenced on the 11th of this month in 1,525 locations in the island. The census was conducted in 317 locations in the Mahaweli zone, which has the highest number of wild elephants. Director General of Wildlife, Dayawan Ratnayaka, said that the final report will be compiled after scientifically calculating the data obtained through the census. The scientific calculations will be carried out by the Department of Wildlife and the Peradeniya University.